Hello, my name is Adolfo, and this is Life of Adolfo. 2 days ago, I was walking. I like to walk with the baby, and I was walking with the baby. It gives me exercise, and I might as well do a video. And I was making a video. After finishing making a video, I decided to make another one since I took a longer walk. And the reason for the longer walk was I was going to go to the pharmacy, get something for the baby. After getting the medicine for the baby, I was going to go get some ribs, or not ribs, but some belly pork. I don't like the belly, but there's meat on the side, which is spicy, and I like spicy. And it's a place called Shiki, but I had to do a long walk in a place called Jones Street. I believe it's a street. You know, there's avenue, there's other words for a street. And for people that are familiar here in Cebu, I was gonna start heading left on Jollibee and McDonald's on Jones Street, all the way to where the post office is at, then make a left, and there's a Shiki's way down there on Acosalen Street. Well, I was heading that way, and I was talking, trying to make a video. As you'll see right now on my video, a dog bit me. When the dog bit me, it's not like people may think if you never got bitten. It just feels like you're getting pressure. The teeth are not that sharp of a dog, apparently. Or at least that dog. It bit me. I thought somebody was playing with my leg. I looked down, and that's when I realized he's biting me. And I did curse a little bit in Spanish. Right after that, you know, everything kicked in. I have to go to the doctor. And I have to go to the doctor for rabies shots. And I started going to this hospital that I passed through called, I believe, Isayamet. And when I went in there, they weighed me in. They did everything. I was trying to contact my significant other, letting them know what's going on. But there's no reception inside the hospital, especially with a phone that is not a Philippine phone. I still use my US phone. For a lot of reasons, I use a US phone, since everything is connected to your phone in the US. As soon as they told me that it's going to cost me 50,000 pesos to get the medication in there, I ain't gonna lie, I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, 50,000, because now I'm already used to the prices in the Philippines. I'm not used to American prices. And 50,000 is a lot for me here in the Philippines. Can I afford it? I'm gonna say yes, but that's a lot of money. I almost had a heart attack, like I said, but I recovered. I like, you know what? It's gonna cost me more if I get a heart attack here. I'm just playing. And at that point, the doctor, I believe it was doctor now, she said, you know what? You could go to a place called Soto, and it's free. And I'm like, is it free for foreigners? And she said, well, I sent some Koreans before, so I believe it is free. She was giving me the address and so on. But by that time, my significant other, my wife, came. We're not married, but I call her wife. And they started talking Bisaya, and I don't understand Bisaya. And we started leaving, and my wife decides to say we're gonna go to a place that I went before. That we went there before. I'm not Magneto. I cannot read minds. She likes to say 1/10 of the story, and let me guess, the other. Like, there's been so many times we've been going to a doctor. What she should have said is, we're gonna go to a place where I went when the cat scratched me. Because when she was pregnant, she got scratched. And the doctor recommended she take shots. Since she's pregnant, we didn't want to take a risk for the baby. And we went to this place called ABC. I believe it's Animal Bite Center. And later on, when she said that, I understood what she was saying. We went to the ABC, and the location moved to another building right next to it. So we went there. Now, that's not the fun part. But as you can see right now, the price range for me from zero, if I would have gone to the Soto place, she said I had to go to Soto so it could be free. I'm not sure where that is at. Or I could have stayed in Visayas for $50,000. But we decided to go to somewhere in the middle. And the reason we didn't go to Soto is because the rumor is that there's always a lot of people there. Since it's free, it's a lot of people. So we went to ABC, maybe about 4 people inside. And I asked them, what's the price? The price ranges. They showed me a map, a list. And it all depends on the price, on the circumstance, apparently. And the circumstance is probably age, the bite, how severe, and so on. And I'll get back to Visayas, I'll get back to the dog later on. Just remember the 50,000. And when I went there, and I went to the first lady, I believe she's the doctor. The other one is the nurse that gives the shots. It's in another room. And hold on. And she said it's going to be $2,800. And I had to take 2 shots on each side. Priority shot. That one, she said it's going to hurt, but it didn't hurt. And the amount of bite marks or punctures is additional shot per each puncture. And I had 4. So a total of 7 shots for the first consultant. Then I had to go take additional shots. And those additional shots will be on 2 different dates. Those additional shots will be on additional dates that will cover the tenderness. I'm not sure. But she said, the lady that was giving me the shots, because now I'm in another room, she said that the most expensive shot that they were going to charge me in Visayas was something called the Eric shot. And that's the one that they give me in every puncture. Now, that's not the funny part. The funny part was when I was leaving the ABC and I was coming out, and my wife was with 4 other individuals, younger, and she said, there's another person that got bit by the same dog. I'm like, no way. How is that possible? I didn't even believe it at that time. By the way, I'm already here on Jones Street walking toward where I got bit. And I like walking here now because there's shade, a lot of trees. I'll show you right now what I mean. Walk all this whole street right here, all the way to the post office because there's shading for the baby. But now I gotta be careful for dogs. More careful. And I couldn't believe it. So I saw him on the first doctor. Hold on, there's a vehicle coming inside here. And I decided to wait for him just to hear his story. And I showed him the video that I had where I got bit. And sure enough, he showed me the bite. He told me it was like 7-Eleven. I didn't know how far 7-Eleven was from where I got bit, but it was two buildings away, or an empty building, and where the dog came out that bit me. The dog came out from a restaurant walking down, if you saw the video, and then he turned around left, and that's where I was just walking like I'm walking right now, and he got me. Now, that's still not the funny part. I don't know how much he paid. I know they collected over 2,500. People were giving him his friends. I'm not sure if it was exceeding that or under 2,000 or above 2,000. But like I said, I paid 2,800. Maybe he paid less depending on the function. Then again, mine, probably on Visaya, which I'm passing right now, right here. Let me see the name. Oh, it doesn't have the name. Oh, Visaya Smith City Center, right above. That's where I came for the wound. But the thing is, my wound, I didn't clean it. It was all blood. And they probably thought it was more severe. So maybe they charged me that. And now, why am I saying that? The reason I'm saying that is because, according to my wife, I'm not sure if it's true, they were charging them in Visaya Smith $20,000. Big difference. My wife says it's because of the weight, but maybe it was because of the puncture wound. He's younger, or other circumstances. So it varies also probably by age or maybe weight, like she said. At that point, I was gonna go back. I was gonna go look for the dog the following day, which I didn't come out because I overslept. And I was leaving the ABC, and one of his friends said, if you go, we go. At that point, I said, you know what? I might as well right now. So I waited for the individual to take his shots, and we headed to go file a report. We went to the first police. They have these little shacks up on the corners here in Cebu, at least in that corner by Osminia. And the police said, go to the other police station, keep on walking. And this is where he got bit around here. This is the 7-Eleven. And right across it, there's an empty lot. As you can see, is where the dog came out that bit me. But I was already over here by BDO walking. So that's why you see me on this hallway instead of the other one, because I'll tell you what happened to the dog according to the story. And we were walking on that other side as I speak, and one of the security guards here was making a gesture, and my wife said, oh, he's making a gesture like maybe thumbs down or something like that. It probably meant that the dog is down. So we decided to cross the street and talk to him. Now, this is part of the fun story. And like I said, I have an American phone, so an APC. I use my wife's phone so we could put all the paperwork. And when we crossed the street, the security guard said it had bitten 2 more people. So it's a total of 4 people that got bitten, according to what they saw. Maybe it was more. And they said that the dog is down, or I think that's what they said. By that time, I said, okay, why bother doing a police report if it's already down? So we split ways, us and the individual that got bitten with his 4 friends. And I was already hungry. 4 hours walking, almost 4 hours. And I said, okay, let's go to KFC. So we headed back, same direction to Jollibee, crossed Jollibee, Nº²⁴. If you're here, it's a circle the cars drive around. And I decided to go eat. When I was eating, my wife got a text message. The text message said it's from a barangay, and they want to know, or they heard that I have a video because I showed it on ABC, and they wanted to verify the dog so it doesn't do more harm for other people. I have it in Insta360, which I cannot just transfer it to my phone and then on her phone because I wanted good quality, for the best quality that I could send to them. And I got home, I sent it. I sent it to his Facebook Messenger for the person in the barangay. And he replied, at 10 a.m., we got the dog. This is already like 11, 12. Because, like I said, I went to go eat and so on. And they said, we got the dog, and it's no, I'm not going to say, they didn't say it's no longer in service, but basically, don't worry about it. Now, I don't know if the security guard was telling me it went down because they saw them or because they actually did it, and whatever the case might be, but the barangay said they already, barangay city hall. That's not just the barangay. And I said, okay, now I'm happy. About the wound, like I said, I have 2 more shots. I see another dog here. There's a lot of dogs here in the Philippines, by the way. A lot of stray dogs. Where I live at in the U.S., when I was joining the Navy, the Navy recruiter said my place reminded him of Portugal, because there's a lot of stray dogs. While this is beyond Portugal, there's a lot of stray dogs here. If they're not stray dogs, they're just living outside the house. But that's it. It's between 0 to 50,000, at least for me, for the dog bite. In addition, the one that I paid is 2,800 pesos, and then 600 for the next shot. That's what they told me. And the third shot, the third day, it's another 600. And like I said, the main shot that costs a lot is one called Eric, because that's the one that they give you right on the wound, directly on the puncture wound. The other 2, like I said, one of them is on both sides, and the second shot, which is the third shot, is on the opposite of where your hand is. If you're right-handed, they'll give it on your left hand because they say it's heavy. And then wherever you got the wound. Like, for example, he got 2 shots on the leg. Since there was 2 wounds, and mine was 4 because I have 4 wounds. And that's all I got. I already reached here where I was supposed to reach in the post office, and now I'm heading back